There are many unique periods in watchmaking history which get a lot of excitement out of collectors and those that are learning about how this technology came about. Hundreds of years of research and dedication have gone into the development of watches. And here we're going to talk about something that was very unique to a period of history full of art and exhibition and excitement in new designs and discoveries. It's nothing to do with mechanics, but it's all about how can we display artistry in a new form that is also tied to a lot of heritage. So we're going to dive into what this artistry is, how it was done, and how we're going to portray this lost art in the future. We're going to take something from that period, restore it, and turn it back into a modern piece of artistry. When the 1900s roll around, we are almost 100 years after what we would call the Industrial Revolution. And this is a big moment in history, so big that people are celebrating like crazy, that rolling of 1900. Some of us will remember when we rolled into the 2000s, the Y2K, the celebrations, everything that was going on. You can imagine that excitement in the 1900s. So we've got years and years and years of industrial technology drastically increasing in the 1800s. We've got the invention of the steam engine. We have the invention of ironclad ships. We've got massive trade worldwide. The whole world is exploding with technology that is brand new and exciting. So they create these world expos where they grab countries and they say, take your very best, your best artists, your best technology, the thing you have created in the last few years, bring it to this exposition and show us, the world, what your country has done and what is unique about you. And so during these expositions, these countries would make massive pavilions. They would show off this brand new artistry, a brand new technology, things that would boggle our minds if we were in the 1900s. And what is special about the 1900 exposition is this brand new artistry, Art Nouveau. This is a very unique period. Before the Art Nouveau movement starts to develop, artistry is specific to paintings and Gothic architecture and Victorian fashion aspects. Like that is what they considered art. But Art Nouveau, you've got these new technologies. We've got iron bridges and iron structures, glass everywhere, these new forms of materials. We're going to start to call these things art. They are not artisans. They're not artificers. It's not just a trade and a craft anymore. This is becoming art. And that is where this watch comes from. This very unique period of time. Technology is overabundant, and we're going to display new levels of artistry. So when we're coming out of the Victorian era, we're in the 1880s heading into the 1890s, and we've got very traditional engraving going on. Something that you would find even in the mid-1800s and occasionally before that. The level of mix of geometric engraving along with floral. So one of these watch cases, you've got, in this case, a rope pattern on the outer edge with thistles on the interior. We've got a very customary belt and a shield for your engraving of initials. Along the edges, we're going to have very zigzag patterns, floral patterns. This type of engraving work, a mix of machine and a mix of hand work done is very, very normal. You can look at another one here. We've got a very clear floral pattern around our engraving shield, and this being an example of how dark it will be after it's been in a drawer for 50 years. But this is, again, a lot of floral pattern around a scaling effect that's created. So these are your traditional Victorian era engravings. And when we get to the 1890s and we start getting into that 1900 at that exposition, this is where everything drastically changes. And we are going to come out with this new Niello artistic style. We've got classic Art Nouveau whiplash lines. We have boxes, straight lines, artistic swoops. The Art Nouveau period brings in that nature aspect of that Victorian Gothic era that they present, but puts it in a very artistic spin. Instead of being more structured, we've now got the actual natural approach of how a vine would grow and those leaves would disperse. And we try and match that nature in a lot of artistic fashion. And their cases started getting displayed at these expositions. So this watch case, when you open it up, has a stamp in there that it won the gold medal at the 1900s exposition. And that's these case makers and their designs of how to create that Art Nouveau artistic style in a brand new period of history. So what we've done here to this 1900 exposition watch is we have taken the case and done a World War I styled conversion. So very briefly after this watch would have been produced, watches were converted to the wrist for the purpose of fighting in the trenches. And it was figured out that 2 hands on a rifle and one on a watch on your wrist was a whole lot better than fumbling around for your pocket watch. The watch itself now represents a very nice artsy artistic piece. We've got all that patterning, Damascusing that you could find all over the watch side and face. We've got Art Nouveau on the dial and the swirls of the numerals. The movement is the same caliber as a early Movado. So my guess is that it is before Movado took its name in 1905. Very wonderful watch to own and portray that early 1900s time period and that early wristwatch development. Something that it can be spoken about passionately and shown off reverently. If you let pieces like this stay in a drawer and forgotten, then we will lose some of these big aspects and changes in watchmaking history. In a pocket, it is sight unseen. In a drawer is even worse. But on the wrist, it's eye-catching. It is a conversation piece, put on display and celebrated in 1900 at the biggest expo and at the biggest stages of technology advancement that we could ever imagine. This is a World War I style conversion fit for the period, and it will display and present itself just as it should.